Welcome to the show, everyone. Today's episode is all about Pokemon Go. So we're going to be talking about that, making 2 Pokemon-themed cocktails today, and that's coming up in 4 seconds. Welcome back, guys. Tom here from the Geeky Drinkers, and we have a special co-host today, my awesome wife, Amanda. So today we're going to be making 2 cocktails based on Pokemon, some of our favorite Pokemon. Guys, today's episode is all about Pokemon Go. So we're going to jump right into the drinks. We're going to do rock, paper, scissors to see who mixes their drink first.
All right.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, you win. So you get to go first. What is your drink called?
It's called the Cheeky Charmander.
The Cheeky Charmander. So we're going to rim our glasses with some delicious sugar. So if you want the sugar to stick, one thing that I recommend doing is using corn syrup. You don't need a whole ton, just a little bit. All right, so let's rim our glass.
All right.
So you just want to go right around there. Yep, there you go. Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, and then.
Now you want to put so you want to put the sugar on the side and then just mix it right around. Get it nice and sugary. Yeah, it's cool, eh?
Yeah.
So corn syrup works really well because it's nice and sticky, and afterwards it gives a nice sweet taste.
I'm gonna rim all my drinks now.
Yeah, so easy, eh?
Look at that.
I used to do it a lot with like water and like lime, and you can like lime juice. You can still do that. I find this is a little bit easier because it looks a little bit nicer. So super hack. So after you have your glass rimmed, what comes next?
So I need half an ounce of Grenadine.
Yep.
And I have it highlighted here because I don't know where in the shot glass that usually is. Okay.
There you go. So half an ounce of Grenadine. So that's going to be kind of like the red for the fire of Charmander's tail, right?
So we want to place bets if I can get through this without spilling.
Shoot a comment down below if you think Amanda's going to spill or if she's not going to spill.
All right.
I'd love to see it. I'd win.
Okay, half an ounce of Fireball whiskey. I usually really don't like things that taste like cinnamon, but I think this is going to go well with the other ingredients.
It's your favorite.
Ugh.
I heard Fireball whiskey is Amanda's favorite.
No, that's the barf whiskey.
But you can't. Well, you can't have a Charmander cocktail without Fireball whiskey.
I know. I think it'll go. The other flavors are gonna make it better.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So you had half an ounce of Fireball whiskey. What comes next?
1.5 ounces of triple sec.
Triple
I've actually never had this before, so.
No, I've made you drinks with triple sec. You might not
really?
have. Oh yeah,
Oh.
you might not have known, but you've had triple sec before.
All right, I lied. I've had it before.
It's delicious, guys. So you have 1.5 ounce of that, right? That's all right. That's a fun thing about cocktails. They're an approximation.
All right.
So you got 1 ounce there. Gonna be doing half an ounce. Nice.
I'm over halfway through without making a spill.
Ooh.
What do I do? There it is.
Do you think you jinxed yourself?
I think this mason jar of vodka is going to do it, unfortunately.
So what kind of vodka is that?
This is Vanilla Vodka, so I need 3/4 of an ounce of Vanilla Vodka.
Vanilla vodka. So 3/4 of an ounce of vanilla vodka. You think this is where you're going to spill? Pressure's on. Ooh, you're doing good.
Better at this than you are.
Got serious competition here.
All right, and I'm going to top it off with orange soda or...
Oh, no. You corrected me. This apparently is not orange soda. What is this called?
This is Liquid Childhood.
Liquid Childhood. You forgot your ice, by the way.
Uh-oh. Because when I got pop as a kid, it was usually orange soda. That was the
Soda?
best one. Well,
Orange soda.
Crush. This is orange
We live in
soda.
Canada where it's called pop. Or soda pop.
So weird that there's a difference anywhere.
Yeah, it's really, really weird, eh?
Oh, I love the color of this.
Yeah. So hold that. So look at that, guys. So you can see like the little flame in the bottom.
Oh, Also, do you see that there's no spills?
There are no spills yet. You gotta have the yet.
Right.
Now, if you want, you can stir that up so that the fireball kind of goes in there. It's totally up to you. You don't have to, though.
I don't think I'm going to. I don't want a whole mouthful of just fireball.
But it's your favorite. I heard that.
I know, right? Alright, do I get to drink it now, or do I have to wait for you?
No, you gotta wait for me. So you gotta set it down there. All right. So now that we have the Cheeky Charmander done, we're gonna jump into my drink. So my drink is called the Squirtle Squad. Because I know it's for Pokemon Go, but the Squirtle Squad from the original cartoons was the best. It really was. It was awesome. One of my favorite episodes, to be honest. So I'm gonna rim my glass with corn syrup again, and then I have blue sugar because obviously Squirtle is blue. So it's delish. Getting a little bit of extra in. Nice. Love it. You guys can see my eyes now. Just pop this up here.
You're not as cool anymore, though.
I can't be cool all the time. So mine is going to start with 2 ounces of one of my favorite liqueurs, Blue Curaçao. But I'm going to... I almost threw my ice. See, look at how nice that rims, eh?
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So I've got 2 ounces of Blue Curaçao. One of my favorites. It's so versatile, so delicious. And look at that blue. It's the best. So after the 2 ounces of Blue Curaçao, something I haven't tried on the show before, but I have had in other drinks. It's called Rum Chata. So I'm going to be doing 1 ounce of Rum Chata. So that is up here. Let's see how it mixes, if it does. Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Kind of like a cloud in there.
Yeah, almost. Almost, eh? So we have 1 ounce of Rum Chata. Now I've also got Blue Raspberry Martini Mix. I'm going to be doing 1 ounce of that afterwards, just to give that little bit of extra blue, which is awesome. Oh, on the inside of that, it looks kind of gross, but that's all right. You gotta smell that.
Oh, that smells so good. It smells like Jolly Rancher almost. Like the
it almost does,
Ranchers. Eh? Yeah.
Yeah. So I have that, and then I'm going to be topping with club soda. Oof. Loud. So top that right up there. It'll give us that nice little fizz. And bonus surprise, blue cotton candy, because Squirtle's sweet. How much do you think I should put in?
All of it.
No.
No, don't put all of it in it. I want some.
Yeah, you want some later. So I'll put in, let's go with that much, which is a decent amount.
It's going to vanish.
So, you gave it away.
Cut it out.
So the cool part about cotton candy and drinks, if you guys haven't seen, is a lot of the time it just like dissolves it right in. Might be a little bit more difficult. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Nice.
Oh, it's got kind of a neat texture on the top of it.
And on the bottom, eh?
It's like sea foam.
Yeah. Because Squirtle used surf.
Perfect.
So. Oh, that looks kind of chunky, eh?
Oh yeah, I don't know about those chunks in there.
This is not a presentation cocktail. But it looks cool for a Squirtle effect. So this is my Squirtle Squad. And that is...
Cheeky Charmander.
All right. Cheers. Oh, hang on. With both rimmed, you gotta do it like on the side.
Okay.
There we go.
This is actually really good. I don't taste any of the cinnamon in there. Maybe like a hint of it when you like season something with cinnamon, but it's good.
Whereabouts? Like on the back of your tongue, or like Is it like a longer?
It's like an after flavor of
Yeah.
the cinnamon. It's kind of like, yeah, it's definitely an aftertaste. But
Here, let me try.
orange soda takes over.
Let me try.
All right, let's try your chunky Squirtle Squad drink.
Yeah, you can't
This is
taste. Yeah, you can't
good.
taste that.
This is
You
how-
can't taste Fireball there at all.
This is definitely how I thought it would taste, because that Rum Chata is like liquid ice cream.
Yeah, it's
So good.
really, really good. All right.
I want to take a sip with the actual sugar.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this episode's all about Pokemon Go. So, I'm Team Instinct, if you couldn't figure that out already. In my opinion, the best team.
See how I don't have a Valor pin? It's because Tom doesn't support anything but Instinct.
That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm Instinct, Amanda's Valor, and our daughter Sage is Team Mystic. So, we have a good harmony going on. I know you have, but I imagine a lot of people haven't heard of the Lugia Alliance. It was actually something that was initiated when Pokemon Go kind of first came out, and there was a lot of tension between a lot of the teams, and a lot of people like me were just like, let's just play the game, let's have fun. Doesn't matter what team you're on, like, I don't care whether you're on Valor or Mystic or Instinct, doesn't matter. Like, and that's actually some stuff that we're going to be talking about a little bit later. We're going to be talking about kind of the community aspect of it as well, but essentially what the Lugia Alliance is you just want harmony amongst all the teams. So you just want everybody to have fun. I'll throw a link down in the comments in the show notes, or not in the comments, but in the show notes down below. If you want to get more information on the Lugia Alliance, it's super cool, so please check that out. It's really neat. But, so Pokemon Go, if you've never played it, it's a mobile game created by Niantic. Surprisingly not by Game Freak or Nintendo, which I thought was actually really, really interesting when it first came out, because I was kind of worried, because I was like, I don't know about that, because like Pokemon, it's been around for over 2 decades. Like, it's got a good thing going on for the most part. So the basic premise of it is it's an augmented reality mobile game, and you go around, you can get different Pokestops where you get items like Pokeballs, raspberries, various items, and you can go to different gyms, put your Pokemon in there, and when after a certain amount of time, you get coins when your gym's defeated. And every team, basically it's a team that can own a gym, or like own a gym for a time. In one of the most recent updates, you can't have more than one of the same Pokemon in there, which I'm really, really appreciative of, because for a long time it was just like Snorlax, Chansey, Chansey, and it takes forever to take down a gym, so it was ridiculous.
Was that before or after they started the Chansey ones? Or Chansey generation came out?
No, well, Chansey's from Gen 1, so is Snorlax. But those two have like really, really high HP, and they take a lot to just like chip away at them and take them down.
Yeah.
So before the update where you could only have one Pokemon in every gym, it was a pain, because you would go, like, I know it was discouraging for me. Excuse me, because I would see a gym and it was just like Snorlax, Chansey, and I'm just like, I'm out. I was like, I don't even want, unless I have like a team of like me and like 3 other people where we're just like, take it down. There's no incentive for me to take it down, other than like, nah, screw you guys, I want this down. But we did want to talk about some of the things that a lot of critics have to say about it. And I just want to get your opinion on it. So what are some of the things that you've heard from people that basically don't like Pokemon Go? Like, what are some common things that you hear?
Well, the most recent one I heard from one of our daughter Sage's teacher, saying that they don't like the game because it gets people too involved in their digital devices, and they don't look up and they walk into things. And given that was definitely apparently a problem with some people in the beginning, walking into traffic to catch a Pikachu or something like that, I'm sorry, but you can't blame the game for that.
Absolutely not, and I definitely agree with that. There's a couple. I believe there was at least one person that like walked off a cliff. There was lots of people that like walked into traffic.
The cliff is the new one. I've never heard that before.
ridiculous. Like, it was stupid things. Like, that comes down to human stupidity. Like, if you're dumb enough to walk off a cliff and have no concept of anything around you, you need to take a step back and maybe put your phone down. Like, that's why they have warnings now on it where it's just like, be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, I didn't hear anyone blaming GPS when someone drove their car into a lake.
Right? Exactly. So Pokemon Go does work off of your GPS. That's kind of one of the things we're going to get into when we talk about like the pros and the cons. But sorry, continue about like some of the critics. Have you heard any other negative things about Pokemon Go?
A big part of it is being attached to your device. Not a huge complaint, just something that I've heard in passing is, and I can definitely relate to as well, is the battery life. It kills your phone really fast if you're playing on it constantly. So we've kind of adapted to that, and we've got like a stack of rechargeable batteries that we take everywhere.
Well, and we're not alone. Like, it's really, really funny because the surge of like portable batteries that you can use for your phone once Pokemon Go was released just skyrocketed. The funny thing about it too is like one of the dollar stores around here called Dollarama, they actually started carrying batteries I think a couple months after Pokemon Go was released, probably just for that reason. They were like $4. They weren't the greatest batteries, but they were a cheap battery for like $4. I know I picked up a couple because there would be nights where I would go around and I would go through like 2 or 3 batteries plus my phone battery. And that's, there were plenty of nights where I stayed out way too late. And you can attest to that.
Oh yeah, I'd go to bed and wake up at like 3 a.m. and Tom's still not home.
No,
before baby, before the baby.
I think the latest that I stayed out was like 3:30, like maybe. But that was like I'm home in bed at 3:30, which is bad because like I have to get up at like 6. So that's self-inflicted. I haven't done that in a little while. But yeah, that's absolutely one of the big things that people complain about often is, yeah, it kills your battery, and it does. The unfortunate part about that is that it's a GPS-based game, so it's going to be constantly using your GPS on a very specific scale to know whether, like, Pokemon are going to spawn, or whether you're close enough to get a Pokestop, or whether you're close enough to get a gym, or anything like that. So I can understand that, and I've come to terms with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one of the really big things that I've heard as well. Up until recently, one of the biggest complaints that I heard was that they were taking too long to put out new generations of Pokemon. Because the first, I believe it was over a year until Gen 2 came out on Pokemon Go, which I agree was a long, long time. Like, I'm level 34. You just hit level 30 not too long ago.
Yeah, probably about a couple of weeks ago.
Ago, yeah. We're since having a baby, we're definitely not out as much playing Pokemon Go, but we still make sure to get like our Pokemon streaks and everything like that. We still play quite often, actually. It's nice, and that kind of segues into like our pros and cons. Because one thing that I really like a pro is it gets you active. It forces you to move around. Now there's another side to that where, especially in the beginning, I heard people that connected, like they basically put their phone like in a bag and tied it to their ceiling fan, so it would just like go around on like a slow setting, but it was slow enough so that the GPS would think it was just constantly going around in circles, so it would hatch eggs, because you can have different eggs like 2 kilometer, 5 kilometer, and 10 kilometer eggs. So that was one that I heard of. Another one, I don't know if, I'm pretty sure I told you this, but another one that I heard of was somebody set up like an electric train set that basically just went in like a big oval, like around their living room. So, I mean, and it just had like their phone sitting in there, so...
Yeah, that one's clever. That would probably still work.
Absolutely.
Just going through the whole house, like in and out of the rooms, that'd be hilarious.
Oh, for sure. And it's funny, because like as soon as I saw that, I was like, props to you for being very creative on that. Because, it does kind of defeat the purpose, and you really are only doing that for kilometers. Like, you don't actually have a chance to catch Pokemon or anything like that when it's doing it, because you're not physically moving around. Most people, though, when they get out, they're moving. They get fresh air, they get active. I know a lot of people that actually, that's how they started getting back into shape. Mm-hmm. Legit, because they were just like, I'm out for 5 hours a day just walking. And you'd be surprised how much of a difference that makes if you're doing that 7 days a week.
Yeah, I started hitting 10,000 kilometers on my Fitbit at that time. Really easy after we started playing.
Super easy.
Constant walks to the park. And again, this was before baby and while I was pregnant, so it was good to get out there and just walk and walk and walk. And basically the limit was your battery and when your feet started to get sore. Absolutely.
And, the other thing that I really like, and that's a huge pro for me, is it really, especially when you're out walking around, you can kind of tell based on where the gyms are. If you see kind of a huddle of people hanging out on their phone, right where a gym is, I would go up and be like, hey, what team are you guys on? Are you guys playing Pokemon Go? Just not even hey, what are you playing? It's just no, I know exactly what you guys are doing. So it's cool, because the first couple times I did it, people kind of looked at me, they're like, well, what team are you on? I was like, I'm Team Instinct, but I'm curious on what you are. Because I'm the kind of person where, I don't care. I'm not going to be like, oh, you want to start something because you're Team Mystic? I don't care. I really don't. It doesn't matter to me what team you're on.
Yeah, from what I've found, geeky people are not really territorial to the point where they're going to shut down what you geek out about. So it doesn't matter what team you're on. Everyone's there to play the same game.
Well, and that's exactly it. We're all there. We're all having fun. And that kind of teamwork is another thing that, especially in the recent updates, kind of forces people to go in on, the raid battles, or especially the EX raid battles, where you're fighting Mewtwo's and stuff like that. That gets people together in large groups. When they first had raid battles, or they first had legendary Pokemon out, I remember we went around with a whole bunch of different people, and there would be crowds of 20, 30, 40 people all in one area just waiting, and people would shout out, there'd be 2 minutes till the raid starts, and which is fantastic. Just that whole community aspect and inclusion is fantastic. That's why, for me, I have very, very little bad to say about Pokemon Go, because there's so many positive things. There's so many, it sounds cheesy, but so many lives are affected just by having that inclusion. I know a lot of people that have had social anxiety, that gives them an excuse to, even if they're just standing in a crowd, that can help them get a little bit more comfortable with that.
Absolutely. That was the biggest thing I noticed right away, because I'm not a very social person. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm quiet. I don't really get out and hang out with new people very often, but as soon as I started getting into that game, we were out at Victoria Park and just talking to people from one crowd to the next and talking about what team you're on, and everyone's just so friendly and welcoming that there is never any... You always know that there's a common interest when you go out and you start talking to a stranger. You guys are obviously into at least one thing that's the same, so it gives you something to talk about right off the bat.
Absolutely. And especially if you're on the same team, because I know when I talk to people, I'd be like, oh, what do you have for your roster for this raid? And they'd be like, they would list off what Pokemon they're going to be using, and kind of you would talk different strategy and stuff like that. And one thing a lot of people still use is IV calculators, which is basically to see what percentage of perfect is their Pokemon. And the higher the percentage, you can get Pokemon that are 100%, where they have the highest HP they can have, they have the best attacks, they have the best speed, they just overall they're a top Pokemon to do battles for. And people that on a super frequent basis, over and over and over and over, when they're going to those raid battles, those are the kind of ones that they look for, because they want to knock that Pokemon out before the time limit comes up.
Yeah, I actually just recently started seeing that in the Facebook groups.
Really? Recently?
I had no idea what it was. I was just looking through and I saw someone say, hey, I got a perfect Pikachu. And I'm just like, what the heck does that mean? And
it's what's wrong with my Pikachu? It's got a birthday hat on.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on some of like the event Pokemon, like there's shiny Pokemon, which we just recently got at the Dratini event that just recently went on. That was my first shiny Pokemon. So we got shiny Dratinis. I have yet to find a shiny Magikarp, which makes me sad.
I found a shiny Swablu when
yeah, you're right, you did.
A couple days before the Dratini event. And I got so excited because I'm like, this one's a different color, Tom. Yeah. Why isn't it blue like all the other ones? I've never seen a shiny Pokemon before, so that was a really exciting moment for me.
Well, absolutely, because in order to find out whether it's a shiny, like you have to click on it, and then usually there's like some shine, like some
there's
like
little stars around it.
Yeah,
in your Pokedex.
Well, no, I mean like when you're catching it.
Oh, it's a different color when you. Oh, I'm sorry.
I know, but I'm colorblind, so for me, like in the Dratini event, I was just like, Amanda was just like, oh, these are purple?
Well, it went from, I think,
like blue. Yeah, they're normally blue. Okay, blue to purple. Two of my worst colors, so I'm just catching them because there were hundreds that I caught. Mm-hmm. And I would just like go through, and then Amanda's like, oh, this one's a different color. And I'm like, I'm curious if I have any of these. And then I'm like, I have like 5 on my radar right now, and I just need to catch them. So I didn't really care. I took a look at the end.
I think you caught 2 or 3 shiny Dratinis.
I caught 3 shiny Dratinis, which was exciting.
Yeah, you exceeded what I've got. I got 1 of each so far, or 1 of each of the shinies that I've caught.
That's good. Well, but you have. There's a Bulbasaur event coming up as well. I'm curious if they're gonna have like shiny Bulbasaurs. I know I kind of hope so. I know our daughter Sage really hopes so as well. Mm-hmm. That's one of her favorite Pokemon. So yeah, I'm excited for that. How have you found the teamwork aspect when it comes to raids and stuff like that?
I love how in the beginning it was just when you walk to the park, it was like a whole new park with all these different clusters of people, and it was so we had Rib Fest going on when I first started getting into it, so that always fills up the park. But you've got Rib Fest here with their crowd, and then it almost seemed like an even bigger crowd over here for Pokemon.
Almost.
Yeah. And then that kind of started to die down a little bit over winter, and you'd still see groups of people in certain select areas, but then they came out with raids, and that brought everyone right back together. Not only were you playing next to someone, but you had to actually bring people in to get that legendary Pokemon, because I've tried, you cannot get them on your own.
Oh no, normally for a legendary Pokemon you have to have 20 people there, and even then you're on the line of losing it.
I think the only ones I've caught on my own are Magikarp.
I've done a couple level 3 because they have different levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've caught a couple level 3s on my own, but it was just because my roster lined up with the kind of Pokemon that it was. So that aspect is pretty cool. I like how it brings people together, regardless of what team you're on. Anybody can go into a raid, and it was just really cool. It was a really, really good way to have everybody included. And the nice thing that Niantic, you're behind.
I was sipping at it and then I forgot.
I'm surprised you're not drinking it with the sugar.
All right.
That's why I took my straw out. But one thing that I really liked is that Niantic keeps finding a way, or keeps finding ways to kind of reignite the flame. See what I did?
Yeah.
There you go. They find a way to kind of reignite the flame of interest. So whether that's bringing out full generations of Pokemon at a time, which is what they did for Generation 2, or more recently, they've just been releasing kind of batches of here's 20 Pokemon from the new generation. But it's cool because it was kind of based around themes. Around Halloween, they released a whole bunch from Gen 3 on around Halloween. Mm-hmm. And over Christmas, they released it's the way that they're kind of staggering these is I think really well done. It keeps your interest up without keeping things really boring. Because I know, trust me, once you hit level 30, it's a grind. You have to really, really work to level up, even to level 31, 32, 33, 34, up to 40. It's a grind, and you got to really have some serious dedication to get up to level 40. So, props to anybody that has made it to level 40. If you have, throw a comment down below and let us know what your Pokemon ID is, or what your trainer name is. and what team you're on, because I'd love to see what kind of teams everybody's on. Hopefully, Team Instinct wins because we're the best.
Valor. You need Valor.
Oh,
Valor's the best.
You think so?
Yep.
So settle this debate. Who's the best? Yeah, throw a comment down below who the best team is. Let us know. I'm curious to see who it is.
I think it's Valor.
I know it's Team Instinct.
There's more Valors in this house than...
That is not true. Our son of Salem is undecided.
No. He was incubated in a Valor.
He was created from an Instinct seed.
He spent more time in the Valor.
I don't know.
I don't think you held on to that seed for 9 months.
I helped out with it, though. Either way, help us settle that debate. Throw a comment down below. While you're there, please feel free to subscribe to the channel because it's greatly appreciated. And we have new episodes every Thursday. We teach you how to make 2 new geek-themed cocktails every single week. And we talk about all things geek culture. So like cosplay, gaming, music, merch, fandoms, all different kinds of stuff. If there's a topic that you want to see us cover or cocktails that you want to see us make, let us know down in the comments below. And we'd love to hear from you. You can also connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So check us out, and we'd love to hear from you. So I'm gonna try and hang on. How much do we have?
Oh,
you have a little bit more.
No. We're about even.
Let's see now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm winning.
Which means you're gonna swallow more.
Team Instinct for the win. Oh, you know what I should have did though? I should have did a yellow drink for yellow. But I'm trying to be inclusive because I'm an inclusive Pokemon Go player.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty fantastic. Who's your top 3 favorite Pokemon?
Top 3.
Yeah.
I love the fire ones, so
okay.
I think I'll go Charmander for sure because I don't know, it's just something about Charmander that's adorable and fiery, and he looks like he'd be huggable. Probably burn me, but
Worth
no,
it.
he wouldn't burn me. He'd burn everyone else.
He'll keep you warm.
Yes.
Okay, so that's your top number 1.
I think.
What about number 2?
I love the episode of Pokemon where the ranger rode in on Ponyta. I almost want to call him Ponyta because that's what Siege called him for the longest time.
Okay.
And
Tough decisions, eh?
Oh, which one is it that I'm thinking of? Ninetales, maybe? No, not Ninetales.
Ninetales is the evolution of Vulpix, which is a fire Pokemon.
That's the one. I like that one.
Yeah, it's a beautiful Pokemon.
Yeah.
My top 3 are probably Eevee. First off, I love Eevee. Jolteon is probably my second favorite. And man, who's my third? I don't know.
Can I change one of my answers?
Yeah, for sure.
Vulpix to Umbreon.
Oh yeah, cool.
Definitely Umbreon. I love that.
Umbreon's not fire type though.
That's okay.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure that was
because I knew it was a fire one. I just
You mean Ninetales?
Ninetales.
Yeah.
Sorry, I like. I'm gonna try and do that cosplay for.
Yeah,
one
for Fan Expo coming up.
Fan Expo, it's a different one, but one of the conventions this year.
That'll be good. My third one, man. Probably like, and this is just because like how they look. Like it's not a strong Pokemon by any means. Do you know Farfetch'd?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the bird with like the little like leak.
Yeah.
I just thought that one was really, really cool. I always liked catching that. Speaking of catching, so you're pretty sure that you played like either red or blue, like one of the original Game Boy ones. Do you have any idea if it... I think you actually said that it was blue that you had first. Because the first Pokemon game that I ever played was Pokemon Red. Okay. Like the original Pokemon Red.
I wish I could tell you. I have no idea.
Okay.
Let's go with blue, because you played red. I'll just pretend I had blue.
We'll go with that. Are you going to finish that or no?
I'm going to finish it.
Okay, because the episode's done.
Oh.
So, so with that, we will see you next Thursday for another episode of Geeky Drinkers. Remember to hit that subscribe button and the like button down below. It's greatly appreciated. And until next Thursday, stay geeky, guys. Cheers.
Mamma mia.